Behind me are 4 men. One of them is a serial killer. Based on these pictures, which one do you think that it is? Now, some of you may have already recognized the man on the far right. Ted Bundy was a serial killer in the 1970s who killed over 30 young women. Once police apprehended him, they thought to themselves, how could he kidnap all of these young women so easily? Simply put, Bundy was a charismatic, good-looking, and attractive man. At his trial, many young women came up to him with handwritten love letters to give to him. They handed them to his prosecutor. And one girl even said, he just doesn't look like the type to be able to kill somebody. We make a lot of assumptions based on first impressions, and a lot of them are based off of people's appearance and how they act. So how can we understand how we perceive attractiveness, judge personalities, and compare them to each other? The first thing we need to understand is the perception of attractiveness in our society, also known as pretty privilege. Although we try to be unbiased when we first meet someone, we can't stop our subconscious from forming initial judgments. But this isn't always our fault. It's hardwired into us since we are born. Research by multiple psychologists in 1990 showed that babies are more drawn to people who are attractive than people who are not. They are drawn to symmetrical faces and clear skin. So if you ever catch a baby staring at you for a long period of time, take it as a compliment. We make judgments about people based on one personality trait. The halo effect describes a cognitive bias that occurs when we use a singular known trait to define somebody's entire personality. We assume that attractive people are more confident, charismatic, social, successful, approachable, kind, intelligent, happy, trustworthy. They do better in court, and they get job positions easier than people who are unattractive. The National Institute of Health says the reason that we link these two together, attractiveness and good traits, is because of our medial orbital frontal cortex. This part of the brain controls both our judgment of people's personalities and our judgment of people's attractiveness, which is why we automatically assume that attractive people possess better traits than unattractive people. Now, since appearance is the first thing that we see when we meet someone, it will almost always have an effect on our first impressions of people. But it's not the only thing that will affect in interaction. During a study at the University of Michigan, they showcased 2 videos that they had one teacher make. In the first video, they told the teacher to be warm and friendly. And in the second video, they told the teacher to be cold and unnurturing. They then selected a group of students and split them into 2 groups. The first group, they showed the warm and friendly video. And the second group, they showed the cold and unfriendly video. The first group who saw the warm and friendly video said that the teacher's characteristics were warm and approachable and attractive to them. The group that saw the cold video said that his face and his voice and his physical characteristics were irritating. Now, both groups saw the same teacher. They saw the same person. But because of his attitude, their first impressions of this man were vastly different. We make initial judgments about people's appearance, but those judgments can be quickly uprooted by someone's attitude. See, our physical appearance only takes you about halfway. The rest is made up by your personality. Being conventionally attractive is helpful, but your personality is just as important to keep people around. You see, there are 4 options that you can be. You can be pretty and mean, pretty and nice, unattractive and mean, and unattractive and nice. When you are unattractive and nice, people will forgive the fact that you're unattractive because your personality is so attractive. When you're pretty and mean, people will be okay, tolerate you being mean for a little bit because you're so attractive. But if you're unattractive and mean, one's gotta go. Now, we can look at a few examples to prove this theory. Celebrities. We know them, we love them, and we most definitely judge them all the time. But to prove this theory a little bit more, we can move it around for different species. What about dogs? Dogs have different personalities. Some are most definitely cuter than others. And when we combine people's personality with their appearance, we start to build an idea of their character. Now, I try to be as unjudgmental as possible, but to be honest, you have to understand why some people are so okay with being rude human beings. When somebody is rude and self-obsessed and arrogant, it's hard for me to not judge them for being rude in my head. Now, I know I'm not the only one who has ever judged people in their head, or maybe I am and I need to check myself. But I challenge you that the next time you begin to judge somebody in your head, think about what you're actually judging about the person. Are you judging their personality? Are you judging their appearance? Or are you judging a made-up persona that you have about them because of one interaction? I want you to think about how you judge people's appearance, personality, and character next time that you see somebody who you're meeting for the first time. When making your first impression, how are you building your opinion of the person's character? And I'm not saying that anyone here is conventionally unattractive, but maybe we should all try to be a little bit nicer just in case.